Hello, I'm going to walk you through my reading enhancement project. First, I want to talk about the lesson itself. So, for this lesson, students will be reading an article that is titled "Is Social Media Good for Democracy?" In the article, there's a debate between two authors that take the two sides of the argument from the title of the question. So, one author says that social media is good for democracy, and the other says that social media is not good. In this lesson, the class will read the article together first. We'll also have a discussion on some vocabulary. There is a worksheet that we may do the period beforehand where students have to define and use some of the words from the article in their own sentences so that they'll be familiar with some of the words that they'll need to know that they may not already be familiar with. Students will also already have some background information on social media before the reading, as it's something that we will have talked about. What I will do to enhance this lesson is students will reread the article in pairs. They will switch off after either each paragraph or each section, and students will be grouped based on reading levels. So a student who is a little more high achieving will be reading with a student that's a little lower achieving. Students will help each other with words that they don't know, and they're also going to work together then to determine the main idea and supporting details of each author's opinion. The teacher then will be able to monitor and making sure that the groups are working together effectively and that they're doing what is expected of them. Students will be provided a graphic organizer to outline the main idea and supporting details, something like this one on the side here, where they will put it at the top and then the details will come off of it. And then students will also be discussing with their partner what should be put in the organizer. So they'll do one of those for each of the opinions. And they can work on this together, using the article to put things in the correct places. Students can continue to use that organizer and refer back to it later, especially for the Melcon that they will be writing, where they have to pick one side of the argument and defend it using supporting details. So this will be one of the good places where they can refer back to write that Melcon. So getting a little bit into the reasoning behind why I chose to add partner reading and the graphic organizer, according to Kathy Allen Simon, students learn more about reading from listening to others read, and pairing higher level students with lower level students allows for that. Students will also be more comfortable trying to read with just one other student. They don't always, students don't always want to read in front of a class. They don't want to maybe have the teacher always looking over their shoulder. So giving them the opportunity to work one-on-one allows for more opportunities for that. Students will also ask each other questions about what they have read, so they can kind of get a little bit of a discussion going that may bring up things like the supporting details and the main idea. There should also be a routine that students are used to following. So there should be something set up. This won't be like a one-time thing. It should be something that you're doing fairly frequently so that students kind of understand what's expected of them. And then students should also offer and praise and be supportive of one another. As for why I added graphic organizers, according to Sam and Rajan, graphic organizers can be a great help to students. They work especially well for students who are visual learners, and they found in their study that they're effective in getting students to identify main ideas, supporting details, dealing with vocabulary, and making inferences, all of which are important things for this lesson. And then also, according to Morrow and Gambrill, making graphic organizers requires that students reread and engage in critical thinking about what they've read. They work best when students are not copying information, which they would not be doing for this lesson, so it should work well. And students conversing about what they have found and referring back to their graphic organizers shows understanding of the text. So just a little bit of a conclusion then. These changes make reading the article more collaborative. Students learn well from one another, and these changes give students the opportunity to collaborate. The enhancements help students to show deeper thinking of what they've read, including determining the main idea and supporting details. And all of the enhancements will set up students for more success in the Melcon portion of the lesson that follows. These are my references that I used. Thank you very much for listening, and hopefully, this was a lesson that will be helpful to you. Thank you.